And we're back.
Now?
See.
Okay, here we are. We're back. We made it through one. Let's go to two. Okay. I picked the Coen Brothers, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Are we gonna?
All right, yes, let's take a look at that one.
Wait,
that's the wrong
that's
movie.
the wrong one.
Here we go. And the Ballad of Buster.
People are so easily distracted. So I'm the distractor with a little story. People can't get enough of them because, well, they connect the stories to themselves, I suppose. And we all love hearing about ourselves. So long as the people in the stories are us, but not us.
This'll tell the tale.
I'm Buster Scruggs.
Your shooting iron work.
Appears to do, yes.
Do you have anything to say before sentence is carried out?
Sentence? What's my sentence?
Things have a way of escalating out here in the West.
My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings.
That man is a wonder. Oh, we'll just have to see, won't we?
Crazy business.
First time?
There we go.
Okay. Okay. I would. Okay. This is director Shannon. Joel. What is it?
The Coen Brothers.
Yeah, but Joel and
Ethan.
Ethan.
Yeah.
Mike thinks it's Chan. I guess it. You know how it autocorrection.
You know, Chan Coen.
It's like, sure, there's not a Chan Coen.
It's the third adopted brother from their second mother.
Okay. So it's a comedy, drama, musical. So it's just as absurd as you would think a Coen Brothers movie could be. And that's why I wanted to see it. I never missed a chance to see a Coen Brothers
Me too.
movie because, first of all, okay, it's the dialogue. I mean, you're like, the dialogue is like from a different type of, like a different century kind of, you know, people speak like, people don't really speak like that, but they speak like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Very
it's,
stylized.
yes. It's presented as a storybook with 6 short stories about life in the Wild Wild West. The first story starts with a singing cowboy, and he sings this cheery little ditty and cheerfully shoots everybody and other cowpokes that are being uncooperative with him.
What's the name of that actor? I love this actor.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson?
Mhm.
Yep.
This film is chock full of actors, character actors. You will. It's just. Next, you have James Franco. He's playing an ill-fated bank robber, and that's going to be hanged. And there seems to be issues about that. And then the third story is called Meal Ticket, and that takes a really dark turn.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
it's
With Liam Neeson, and it's an armless, legless young man who recites poetry and starts every performance with Shelley's Ozymandias
No, look to you, look.
Yes.
to an ever-dwindling audience, right? This forces Liam's character to make a business decision, quite a gruesome business decision. So, but
Because the chicken comes into it.
Yeah, and there's a chicken. Yeah. So,
And the chicken wins.
so then we move on to All Gold Canyon, and inspired by Jack. This is inspired by a Jack London story, and features Tom Waits. That was a treat, you know. He was a prospector. The fifth story was, I don't know how to explain it, but it was chock full of, I don't know what you would call it, like modern irony.
Yeah.
Really a great story, great performance by Zoe Kazan, Bill Heck, and Gregor
But
Hines.
yeah, the girl who got rattled. But just basically, it's about a wagon train of some people moving to the east, Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're new to the West.
The last story is called Mortal Remains. 5 people in a stagecoach. 2 of the passengers are bounty hunters. He, one of the bounty hunters, Junjo, Neil, tells a story about his partner, Brendan Gleeson, that involves a rather grotesque discussion of possibly psychopathic behavior. I personally love the Coen Brothers. They are just, I personally loved this movie. It was like, in a way, it was kind of like your movie, where I just couldn't understand where it was going. The 5th story was rather touching. And I have a funny story about this, because last night I'm watching Perot. I love Perot, right? So, you know.
Oh, the one on
Perot.
PBS?
Yes.
Oh, I watched it. The Hollow?
The one last night?
Yeah, The Hollow. Yeah.
Everybody in that movie was in that
Was
fifth-
in on it.
Really?
Right.
No, was in this story.
Movie.
Was in this 5th one. I kept
Oh.
looking and I went, gee, how do I know that person? And how do I know that person? I think the girl was the girl in this one.
Oh.
And the guy with no arms and no legs, he was the kind of guy that was infatuated with, you know, and I
Okay.
was like, how do I know him? I recognize him. So it was kind of like really interesting. Everybody was from that particular story in the movie, in the Perot thing I watched last night. So that's just kind of an
What was
extra
that
thing.
story about, though?
What?
I don't remember it. That 5th story.
That's
It was
the girl who
about
got rattled.
She was going out.
The brother and sister.
I mean, she's
were
traveling to
Yeah.
the old west, and they go on wagons, and they travel, and then
I remember
one
that.
is on the front and one is on the back,
Right?
and she loses her dog. Is runs around, she's
Oh,
gonna kill the dog.
right, yeah.
Right. It's very. It's just they are so modeling. I guess that's the word. They are so modeling, but it's, I don't know. It works. Like, you know how some people can be like total jerks, but they're kind of funny, and it doesn't bother you,
Yeah,
right?
right.
It's like them.
Because
That's like them. They have such a sick way of looking at things, but I really like it. It works for me. Okay.
I love the Coen Brothers, but I gotta say, this is amusing, but the theme seems to be death. You know what I mean?
I
Which
agree.
is okay.
Yes.
Which is fine with me.
What was what?
Death. It's all about death.
Obviously.
Mm.
Yeah. Every single story.
About
Every
that.
single
Oh, yeah.
story.
I told you it's modeling.
And it's not my favorite Coen Brothers. It's probably my least favorite Coen Brothers, but I find out with all the movies we did, including my own, right? But it's just, there's no continuity. I can't say the word.
Continuity.
Continuity.
Sure, everybody's dead.
Yeah. Well, that's continuity. But it's like there's no like message. There's no theme except that. And so each of the story was entertaining, each one separately. But I found if it hadn't been 6 stories, I would have done like I did with a lot of these movies, turn them off the last half hour, right? I just found all these movies so boring. Like they're boring and flat.
There'll be a lot of different stories.
You know, it's sort of funny. I didn't find them boring. I just found it odd. Like, you know,
Maybe that's what I'm
because
looking for.
the problem for me is I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even know it was the Coen Brothers. And, you know, I do like the Coen Brothers, but at one point I noticed that within maybe the last 5 years, I stopped, even people I like. It's like, okay, just see a trailer. Will I like this movie? I have no idea. So I was like, no, I won't watch it. Which is why you guys are so important to me, because you make me watch certain movies I've never
And
watched.
vice versa.
And
vice
I will
versa.
really get a good surprise. Now, this, I agree that I felt that thematically, it didn't seem to all fit. I mean, I get the Western part and I get the death
Me
theme,
too.
but it's like,
That's
okay.
it.
Like the first one, I really thought, oh, it's the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. So I thought, oh, okay. And Tim Blake Nelson, he's a singing cowboy. I thought, oh, this will be fun.
He'll be the connecting
Well,
force.
he'll be at least, I thought the whole movie was about him.
Right.
So
Me
then it's
too.
like,
Brings
okay,
the
that
title.
happens. I thought, I kept thinking, okay, I'm watching then the second episode. And I thought, okay, when is he going to show up? When's he going to show up? Right? And I was like, no, I guess he did. And that's, I realized this.
Did I miss it? Did I go to the
Exactly.
bathroom at the wrong time?
This is an anthology movie, I realize that. So believe me, by the third one, it's like, okay, now I'm sorry, this is so dark, this is so maudlin, like you said. That's like, I don't know if I can watch the next three. I mean, because I finally had to look it up. It's like, oh no, it's anthology. I will say this though, in the third one, I did think Liam Neeson and that Harry Melling
Oh God.
were excellent. I
Yes,
really
yes.
like both of them because, like you said, the musical part is the thing that sort of intrigued me. Because when that Buster Scruggs starts singing, I thought, oh, okay, this is singing cowboy thing, right? Just,
Right, right,
you know.
right.
And then it's like, okay, then the second episode comes along. It's like, there's not really singing except you do hear some people. It's like, okay, another song comes into it. Then the third one, when Liam Neeson's drunk and he's singing the song, and you actually see they call it the meal ticket because the one guy who's reciting, who makes all the money, he's listening to the song and he's entertained by that song because it's a sad song of loss as well. I think it's like do you know if it was an old Irish ditty? I
sounds
wasn't
Irish.
familiar.
It sounds like it.
Okay. But then it was the girl who got rattled story. That was, I thought, at least the one story where I thought, I thought that was a good story from beginning to end. I have to admit though, the Tom Waits story was at least the first story that was, oh, at least that's a happy ending
Right.
in a way, right? For me personally,
Kind of.
it's still dealing with death.
Uh,
I thought, okay, but then it's like, okay, that was the one. And again, like you said, that Zoe Kazan and Bill Heck, I thought were excellent in that. He plays the guy heading the wagon train, and like I said, she's with her brother. Spoiler alert, at one point he dies, so she doesn't know what to tell the head guy. What can I do? Because he had the money, I don't have anything money, this and that. And then they had his dog, which nobody in the wagon train apparently liked either. Named after the president.
Right.
Oh, that's right. President Pierce.
That is so Coen
Right.
Brothers.
No, exactly. Franklin Pierce. I mean, this is the guy who, I don't know if you remember history, but he's the one who was against the abolitionist. He wanted slavery.
Was
So-
it Woodrow Wilson?
no, Franklin Pierce.
Frank-
Frank Pierce. Yeah, President Pierce was the name of the dog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right, that's right.
But then it's like you said, I think many of the stories have that sort of really ironic kind of twist to them,
Yes.
especially second and this one. This one actually being really sad. But see, my thing was when it came to the last one, because again, another spoiler alert, because when it came to death, I don't know how you felt. I'm just reading into it because I don't think it's true, but it just had to do with all these five people are conversing on you're traveling on a coach.
Did you think
And
they
it
were
was-
dead?
That's
They
what I was going to
all-
say. See, that's
at
how
that
it
time
presented to
period,
it.
They always
No.
photograph people
I thought they
dead.
were dead
No,
and
she
going
made
to
a point.
hell.
She made a
Well,
point.
see, that's
Yeah.
how I felt
Uh,
about that exact same thing because the fact that the three of them don't get off at first. They're just sitting in there.
They're
The other two bounty hunters have a dead body on top of the coach.
Right.
See, that's what's making me laugh, thinking, no, it can't be right because they have to pull down the body down and they got to carry up the steps and
Right.
everything. And they have sort of how would you put it, a pragmatic look
Yeah,
at
but
death
remember,
because that's business for them.
Because she says something and he goes, I don't know. I don't know how it ends either. I'm just watching.
Right, exactly. And that's what I like too, because he actually does speak about death and like looking at the person's eyes
Very-
before the light. I mean, stuff like that is like, it's
Deep.
almost poetic.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's sort of fascinating. But when you see the three of them, like who's going to get out of the coach first?
You know what? And they're
And then-
all
and I-
back together.
Right.
And they have that dead look. because
Well,
they
and then
take
and that the
pictures of
fact
the
that it's
dead.
an evening and they have that dark shade.
Shade.
And like I said, technically too, the way they're filming it.
And
is
the guy
all so
reminded me,
nice.
he kept reminding me of
Yes, it's all blue.
Exactly,
Yes,
right. Blue and gray.
And what's the actress' name there? Kegney.
Oh, Time Daly.
Time
Yeah.
Daly.
She was great.
Oh, she's excellent because I
She's
love the
always
fact that
great.
it's like, when they're saying, oh, ladies first, I need to be helped down. And like somebody needs to open the door for me. Like she's not going to be the first one.
And also-
And that's why that was interesting.
Yes, he kept reminding me too of Tom Hanks in The Lady Killers.
Oh yeah,
Right, yeah,
right.
exactly.
Seems like a similar
Well, it's
character.
just the way
Yeah,
they were
That's
propped up.
that's a Coen movie too.
yeah,
I
it
know.
is.
It's the way they were propped up.
Right.
I
No,
remember
exactly.
thinking, because people used to take pictures of the dead,
Right.
like to make
Right.
them look living.
Right, exactly.
And that's the first opinion you get when you watch it. It's like,
Well, the only thing I thought was strange because here they are traveling in coach, and I don't know if you noticed it, but they all have to go into the hotel. And like I said, they're hesitant to get out of the coach, but no luggage is taken down from the top of the coach except for the dead body.
and they're always sitting there.
Right, and that's when I thought, you're right. It's like, oh, is this like I said? Okay, you say to hell, but to heaven or what? Is this your final resting place?
It could be purgatory. It could
Right.
be. I'm not really
I
sure,
think
but I
being
know
in
they're
the-
not alive.
Yes.
Being in a carriage at that time of
The
life,
coach, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
you're just cranks.
Right.
That would be hell.
So, but again, that's why I said it sort of left me flat though, because it's like I was just hoping they would all have at least the same kind of
yeah,
humor, or like you said, something that carried all three words, even the same
Together.
spirit was
Yes.
sort of there. But maybe the spirit was
Oh,
like
it's funny.
she said,
The
dark,
spirit.
yeah, the darkness of it or something.
Well,
Because
I think like you were talking about the Lady Killers,
yeah.
right? They have
Oh,
a
George.
very peculiar sense of humor,
Mm.
which I,
I totally
really
get that.
Yeah,
which
I do too,
really
yeah.
like.
yes,
Oh, Brother Wildau. So love that movie.
Huh?
Oh, Brother Wildau.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
I love those movies.
well, that's why I said. That's why even the first one, the Buster Scruggs one.
Mm.
I mean, I'm sorry,
Oh, yeah?
when they do the duet, which
Yeah.
again, that's the song that got nominated for best song that year at
Really?
the Academy Awards. Yeah.
Did it?
Oh, I remember. Yeah, because it was such a weird duet. I thought something about cowboys and Spurs. I wish I could remember what it was. But you know,
That sounds like a couple of movies.
Really, that from this movie that was nominated?
yes, yeah, for best
Wow.
song. If I'm not mistaken, I think
Wow.
that was
I
right.
don't
Because
think they had much
and that's-
choice in that.
and that's why I was sort of curious. And another reason I sort of didn't see it, because I don't know if I want to see a Coen Brothers musical.
No,
Because again, that's another thing. People actually will sing in this movie. Every single episode
Yes.
has a
Well.
song sequence in it.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to know the thinking behind this movie, actually.
that would be. I've never. Again, they just do such unique work, and I'll give it to them again. This is all very unique. I just didn't get into it as the way I guess
No.
a lot of people do with the Coen Brothers movies. I think they even the National Board of Review even named this one of the best pictures of the year. So
They named it that.
I believe
I'm
it's
sorry,
Yeah,
it's
I,
not.
I personally loved it. I was
Yeah.
like,
Okay. There we
Hey,
go.
It was
Um,
interesting.
yeah, you always know you're going to get a really
Unusual.
verbal, interesting, philosophical bent on things.
Yes.
You know, you're always going to get that with them. Like I think of Raising Arizona. I think
Yes.
of John
Great
Goodman.
movie.
Think of John
Great
Goodman
movie.
in that,
Well,
or
there-
The Big Lebowski.
Well, just no, literally all their movies. Their first movie, Blood Simple. I'll never forget the movie review. It was like,
Is that
well,
their first movie?
yes, if I believe so. That at least was the mainstream. But I remember the movie review says, "Well, if you like your comedy black, this is the movie to see," and it was so true. And they've kept, in my opinion, they kept up with that. They
That's because
like
that's what it's
Death
called?
Blood Simple, yes.
That's because
That's
there's
Coen
that's,
It's like if
that's
you like-
them.
Yeah.
If you like your comedy with no cream.
exactly. Nothing
With no
light,
cream and sugar.
no sweetness to it at
No
all.
cream
right.
with sugar.
But that was the weird thing because I just thought, like I said, after this third one, the mealtime one, it's like, okay, this
That
is
was
really
dark.
this was really sick to me in a
It
way.
was dark but funny.
But I
It was.
sort of understood because, like I said, I think the performance by Liam Neeson and the guy
Oh, they were
that Henry Miller
fabulous.
were just so perfect.
It was so sad,
Oh yeah, that like I said,
but so human.
I almost want to stop the movie. I said, okay, I don't want to go on.
What if it gets deeper? You know?
That's why I said this is the midpoint. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, which is why I'm glad they followed up with the Tom Waits one because, like I said, that at least to me was a lighter and sort of happier.
I
movie.
didn't even realize that was Tom Waits, and I love Tom Waits.
Oh, how can you miss Tom Waits?
I
with
know,
that
especially
voice?
with his voice. Exactly. Okay, George.
Oh, me. Yeah, same thing. I actually enjoyed the movie. I liked it. But like you guys, well, by the time I got to the third story, I was kind of fine enjoying the first story was great. The second story, I thought it was kind of funny. But the third story is the one that was like, okay,
Downer,
I
man.
went like, it's going down. I felt like I was watching local news.
Oh,
Right.
When I watch the
yeah.
movie, it's just all this,
Yes.
it's a I'm calling it depressingly funny. That's what we call this movie, depressingly funny. And it reminds me of when I was by the James Franco story. That's when I thought the movie was about destiny. You cannot escape your destiny. Unfortunately, the stories in this movie, your destiny is not good. So nobody can escape the destiny,
Really
and the
bad.
destiny is not good. So it reminded me also of the when you think about a movie about death. It reminded me of Faces of Death,
Yeah.
the documentary
Yeah.
that was kind of rough too. The there you go. Okay, my writing was- So yeah, so I enjoyed the movie, but I did find it. Just the stories. I thought it was a really well done movie, great Coen Brothers movie. I just found it depressing because all the stories were so depressing to me.
They were.
Because the theme was like I would think this is a movie that the Grim Reaper is watching with a thing and
Yeah.
going popcorn. Oh, I love this movie. It's a great movie.
It's not just that it's also it's not that it's just about death. It's about the darkness of the human spirit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's why
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
depressing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, the Liam Neeson story is the one that takes you, starts going, taking
That's
you there.
scary, that one.
But,
Yeah,
it's
because
a
to be
bit-
quite honest, I thought the first story, even with the death theme,
Mhm. Yeah.
like I said, I'm sort of laughing because you're
Yeah.
seeing sort of an
Well, the
angel
first-
singing or
Yeah,
so,
but-
whatever. I, you
well,
know,
the-
I don't. That's
But
what I said.
Liam Neeson with
Well, the-
that one, it's like.
But the first story
business
was the
decision.
first
Yeah,
story was funny,
exactly.
and the James Franco one, what that was
Well,
funny
it's
too.
actually sort of
'Cause,
funny
like,
with the irony.
When because he gets hanged once, and then his second time he's getting hanged, and the guy's crying. He goes, "Oh, it's your first time."
No, exactly,
So,
exactly.
okay, this is the kind of comedy we're dealing with.
But see, what I liked about that, for me personally, is like, okay, there he is. He was in the midst of that. Now the second time, he knows what he's going through. Where he makes eye contact with a little girl, and she
Yes.
smiles, and
Yes.
that's what he's going to take with him when he dies. Now,
Yeah.
so
Well,
But-
there is a
The
funny
third one was just.
there is a funny part to that with you know when there's bloopers in a movie. Remember in the second one where he keeps moving forward and
Oh, God,
forward
that
and
scared the
forward.
shit out of me.
So that rope was actually longer and longer
Oh
and
yeah,
longer.
yes.
So actually his feet would have touched the line.
Oh, really?
What the hell?
Oh.
So
Well, that's funny.
there was
That's
a kind of
funny.
blooper
That's
in that.
funny.
Yeah. So are we ready?
Mhm.
Okay, Patty.
3.
I give it a 5.
Holy shit,
I-
Ron. We traded places
No,
here.
I'll give it an 8. I thought I enjoyed it that much.
I gave it a 9.
Yes, I can believe that.
I'm abashed.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Take us out, sweetie.